With a generation so overly sexualized, do students think about the risks of getting HIV or AIDS? HIV stands for a human immunodeficiency virus. Bodily fluids like blood, semen, breast milk, and vaginal fluids can transmit HIV from an HIV-infected person. In the late 1980s to 1990s, AIDS and HIV were in the forefront of many movies, television shows, and campaigns. Even shows like A Different World touched on the topic.
Josie Webb had died of acquired immune deficiency syndrome, disease we all know as AIDS.
But without AIDS being talked about in the media, we have to wonder if it is not a thought amongst young adults today. Some choose to take the more laxed approach.
Yes, I'm sexually active. I feel like I wouldn't trust the person well enough or know that person well enough to know that they would have the disease or not.
Where others recognize AIDS and HIV still being an issue.
I feel like AIDS is definitely still relevant only because it's still on the rise. People don't talk about it a lot anymore, but at the same time, it's still going on. People are still losing their lives because of AIDS, but the difference is that we do have certain treatments and things of that nature that we didn't have 20 years ago.
According to AIDS.gov, more than 1.2 million people in the United States are living with HIV infection, and almost 1 in 7 are unaware of their infection. Blacks represent approximately 12% of the U.S. population, but accounted for an estimate 44% of new HIV infections in 2010. As little as this virus is talked about now, it is still very relevant. Sales marketer Stephen George shares his opinion.
It's important for students and young adults to practice safe sex because the situation still exists, even though it might be not as prevalent in the media, but it's also important for all of us to be cognizant of safe sex, practicing safe sex to avoid situations that we don't want to be a part of.
Within 2 to 4 weeks of getting infected, people experience flu-like symptoms including fever, swollen glands, sore throat, headache, and muscle pains. If you think you might have the virus, please visit your local health center. Holly Lewis, Jack 440 News.